Twitch has been under a lot of controversy in recent years, most recently with the likes of Hassan with the dog and the dog collar. Yes, I haven't covered that, but I'm very well aware of what's happened with that, and I've been following it very, very closely. The most recent incident, though, involves Twitch streamer Emiru. Hello and welcome back to Chat About It, Don't Shout About It with me, Rachel, the Queen of the Woke, as crowned by one of my haters.
I crown you Queen of the Woke!
Let's chat about it. Please let me know what you think of the situation that is happening with Emiru, and please do keep it friendly in the chat. Now, what we're going to talk about might be a little bit disturbing today, so a little precursor. Now, none of you will know this, but I used to Twitch. Yes, I used to be a Twitch streamer. I stopped a couple of years back because the homepage was, well, very weird and more than just a little bit concerning. So at most now I go and support my friend who streams on Twitch as far as that goes. So I'm not surprised when people like Asman Gold warns streamers of going to TwitchCon, and Hassan as well, although I'm not entirely sure that that's connected to what's going on. It might be more connected to his recent controversy. But Twitch has recently, well, it's gone down a rabbit hole, and I think this particular most recent incident may result, just potentially, may result in the end of the streaming platform. And it's just may. Now, Emiru appears, and I'm using that word appears, to have been assisted at TwitchCon. I'm going to show you a video with what happened right now. And I know some other people have showed a different angle. This is the one where she screams and you can actually hear it. So I managed to locate that one instead.
Whoa.
So there you go. That is what happened in short. Now, I'm not going to play the full video because it's got some quite foul language in that. So this guy, he just bypasses the queue, walks right up to her, and it looks as if he is attempting to kiss her. Now, that man that helps Emiru is her own security, not Twitch's security. Twitch security did absolutely nothing to begin with. This is not even her own preferred bodyguard. Her preferred security guard was banned from TwitchCon previously for doing his job. Twitch security did eventually remove this man, but only after it was demanded. Twitch did actually, though, go ahead and release a statement. So I've got this statement here. So, the behavior displayed by the individual involved in the incident yesterday involving a high profile streamer was completely unacceptable and deeply upsetting. In line with existing TwitchCon security protocols, law enforcement and event security were on site and responded to the incident. We immediately blocked this individual from returning to the TwitchCon premises, and they are banned indefinitely from Twitch, both online and in person events. We are coordinating with the impacted creators team, and per our standard protocols, continue to cooperate with any law enforcement investigations, the companies added. Okay, that's all very well, but Twitch security should have reacted first before Emu's security. Plus, banning them from TwitchCon and on Twitch isn't going to necessarily do anything. They can easily open up another account, and there will be nothing necessarily to prevent them from lurking around outside in the public space. And that's really where Emuru's security guard would actually come in. Whereas in this case, it should have been Twitch's security guards dealing with this man first and not the other way around. The thing is, streamers and content creators are out there on the internet, and whilst they are a different type of celebrity or well-known person, they should be able to receive the best possible care at these types of events. Excellent security, not being forced to take off their masks if they prefer to have that anonymity. Sorry, I'm not very good at that word, and things like that. At the end of the day, they are there to do their job. There will be some people out there, and I say just some, who feel like they are at the liberty to do whatever they please with celebrities and content creators and streamers, and they feel like they are owed something big time. For example, And this happened whilst I wasn't at my best recently. There was a Korean streamer who was killed recently after one of her longtime viewers donated about $70,000 to her. And, well, like I said, that happened when I was not in the best of states to even make content. Now, Emiru does have a response. I'm not very good at saying her name, by the way. Let's take a look at what she said in response to pretty much everything that has happened right up until Twitch also responded.
I've been talking to Twitch people, and I'm really upset because I noticed a lot of negligence around the event, and I'm not happy with the way that they're handling it now.
She sounds very nervous.
And I'm like, what do you mean? And she's like, well, I asked them, like, what are they gonna do about this? And you know what they said initially? They said, oh, well, he's banned from the platform for 30 days.
That's exactly my reaction. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
What? And then she's obviously like, hello? Like, that needs to be indefinite. What the fuck are you talking about? Also, that's like nothing to do with anything. No one gives a fuck if he's banned on Twitch or not. Like, we're talking about the convention here. So they change it to indefinite. Takes an hour for that to happen, by the way. These two people are the head of security for Amazon and the head of risk for Twitch.
I should imagine that there's going to be a bit of a fallout this week. It's only Monday at the time of recording. So this will go out on Tuesday, so something else may very well have happened that I will obviously miss because I'm recording this on a Monday.
Also, later the same night, I'm not gonna drop names here because I wasn't there, so I didn't see it. But I had multiple people tell me that key Twitch representatives last night were out partying.
Well, that's an interesting turnout for the books, isn't it? Yeah, they were out partying, so that could very well mean that a lot of the Twitch staff had hangovers, and that could lead to additional incompetence. Yeah, you've got to be on the ball at on these types of events, and you can't go out drinking the night before. That's not good. Now, Taylor Lorenz interviewed Dan Clancy, as the head of Twitch, and actually asked the correct questions here in this next clip that I've got to show you. So I will praise her for that. I will say, well done, Taylor. Well done. Let's take a look at the video. And why is she wearing a mask? Are you still wearing masks in America?
And others. Obviously, we saw one Twitch streamer yesterday, Emiru, get assaulted by a male fan. And a lot of streamers have, especially female streamers, have talked about, the danger that they feel from these sort of toxic, I guess, parasocial kind of creeps. What are you guys doing to prioritize safety? Because I know also a bunch of Twitch content creators said that they were too scared to even come to TwitchCon this year, just in case something like what happened yesterday would happen.
Fantastic question. And I think this is something that everyone would need to know the answer to if they're ever thinking about going to TwitchCon in the future.
Give our creators the top priority. The challenge we face is a challenge in today's society. It's not limited to Twitch. It extends throughout our society. I do think that when you're live streaming, in many ways, since you control your community and you can ban people, you can make it so that those people that you don't want engaging with you and participating with you aren't there. Okay, it's very different. When I use other short form content and people say all sorts of stuff, well, I can't stop that. But when I live stream, they basically don't bother me. Now, what happened yesterday obviously was something that we care deeply about, securing this environment. We're looking very closely at everything that happened there. And I care deeply about Emmy. She's a friend of mine. And so I want to see how we can support her. This is just something we have to keep working on. I think everyone identifies our tools in terms of trust and safety as the leaders in the industry about helping creators, but that means there's always more work to be done because that's the world we live in now.
Demi had posted.
Interesting response, and we will get to that in just a moment, but let's listen to the next question that Taylor asks.
Earlier today that I guess this fan was allowed to cross multiple barriers at TwitchCon. Why should streamers trust Twitch to keep them safe at TwitchCon? Because I feel like simultaneously this has been such a secure event to the point that even like journalists have had struggled. Like, it is very secure, but here's this man that just walks up and is somehow able to bypass all these things.
Yep.
So why should they trust the platform when slip-ups or, issues like this have happened?
Well,
And again, she's bang on with that question. Uh-oh.
I mean, as you know, I think you toured some of what we do in terms of security. The reality is, even as you do a lot in terms of security in today's world, there are challenges.
Yeah,
that
that's
can
fair.
present themselves, especially when someone is putting themselves out there, right?
Yeah. I would agree with that. There will be challenges naturally.
And so, we try to work very closely with each creator about what they want to do and what works for them, right? So I don't want to get into any specifics of details, but part of that is working with creators and, trying to find them. Right now, we're definitely, ramping it up to make sure creators know that we have the resources there to help them figure out what's right for them.
Help them figure out what's right for them. Right. What bothers me about his answers that he's given Taylor here is he almost, but not quite, blames the Twitch streamers. It's almost it's easy enough to block people on platforms, right? So like if I don't really block people, but if I was on X and someone was giving me a jip and I decided that I was going to block them, easy, and I don't have to think about it. And that's because I'm behind a phone or I'm behind a computer in front of a crowd, having been in front of the crowd for many years. When things like that go wrong or whatever, you've got to face it. You've got to face it. I had a show that I was doing, and it was the role that I was doing. It was kind of it was a swing role, a swing in between two characters. But the particular one that I was doing, it was also doubling up as stage management. And there was an incident that happened between one of the cast members and the audience member, and then I'm having to deal with it, and I'm having the same sort of problem. And there's just it's no easy way. And in the end, I had to like call security and things like that because that person is in your face. Okay. And by all means, certainly do go ahead and ask the creators what it is that they want. But at the same time, you have to be on top of everything. It doesn't matter, if they say, well, I want X security here, X security there. In addition to that X security here and that X security there, you've got to put X security here, 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 and here. You have to be on top of it regardless. I will be interested to see what happens with this going forward. Now, Emiru has said that she won't be attending another TwitchCon, which I think is completely understandable. When incidents like this happen, it does put a damper on events that people would really love to go to and meet their idols. It really does. I don't see this incident and other things that have happened to Twitch over the years being a good thing for the company. I know that it's going to create a lot of issues, let's just put it like that. But I tell you something, what would be good for me is checking out the most recent upload that I put up. Could you do that for me, please? Well, anyway, that's what I think. Let me know what you think. Chat about it, don't chat about it. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye bye. Thank you for watching today. Don't forget you can join me on my other platforms as well. I've got YouTube, Rumble, Spotify, X, TikTok, Instagram, Locals, Substack, and I also have a Discord. Everything is linked below.